Good day, everyone. So while trying to 9-star floor 11, I came across a few mechanics that either I didn't know existed or just didn't work the way I thought they would. These mechanics may all be completely common knowledge by this point, but just in case anyone who is struggling with the new floor 11 happens to come across this video and also didn't really get these mechanics, I figured I may as well make a video about them. Now, the first mechanic, hinted at by the clip at the beginning of the video, is the Abyss Herald's ability to increase the timers of your skills that are on cooldown. I had a number of instances where I would have one character whose abilities were about to come off cooldown, I'd quickly swap to a different character and then back again, and find the skills now had a slightly longer cooldown, and frankly thought I was going completely insane. Fortunately for my sanity, it was actually that the Abyss Heralds have 2 attacks which will increase your cooldown timers by about 6 seconds. The first attack that will increase your skill cooldowns is their cross slash. As this attack is a single hit in a line in front of them, it's pretty easy to dodge as long as you make sure to pay attention to both Abyss Heralds and watch out for the animation where they bring both arms above their head. The second is where they start slashing all around themselves in a frenzy, ending in a burst that sends out slashes in a few different directions. For this attack, I'd suggest getting used to the timing of the explosion and iframing it, or just getting far enough away so that you can see the slashes coming at you and dodging out of the way. As this fight is all about doing as many elemental reactions as you can, and most characters' ability to do so are locked behind their elemental skill and burst, I do think making sure to getting hit by as few of these attacks as possible could make a big difference in your time, as only getting hit by say like 4 of these attacks would add a total of 24 seconds to any skills that are on cooldown, and in turn possibly adding 24 seconds onto your time, which could very easily lose you a star. The next mechanic has more to do with the floor itself, specifically trying to purge the hydro effect by using, say, Bennetts Burst. I had kinda just assumed that if your character was afflicted with an element, and then you use an ability to put an element on yourself and cause an elemental reaction, the first element would be removed. But of course, that's not how it works. If you try to use Bennetts Burst, say, to remove the hydro element, you actually have to wait for his burst to apply pyro to yourself a few times before hydro will actually be removed. Also, characters having elements on themselves are independent of each other, so even if you were to stay on Bennett until the hydro was removed, if you swap to a different character, they will still be afflicted with hydro. This means that if you just pop Bennetts Burst, swap to a different character, and immediately use their skills, they will still have the increased cooldowns from the hydro debuff. So if you want to use Bennetts Burst as a purge, you actually have to swap to whichever character you're going to use, then wait in his burst until the hydro is actually removed. Now for some characters that have really low cooldowns, this might not be worth it, but for characters with longer cooldowns it probably is. If you're using, say, Chongyun, having to wait a few seconds before using his skill, and then having a 15-second cooldown is probably better than doing it with the hydro debuff and then having to wait for 30 seconds before you can use it again. Finally, I wanted to talk about Electro. As Electro is supposed to be the counter to hydro, and as applying Electro to a hydro-infused target spreads the Electro damage to nearby hydro-infused targets, I had thought, at least in terms of time, that Electro would be your best go-to option. However, it doesn't really seem like Hydro is any better against the Abyss Herald shields than, say, Cryo or Pyro, and in addition, I had assumed that since the Electro charge spreads the Electro damage, that in turn would cause Electro charged and thus deal damage to the other Abyss Herald shields. Sadly, that doesn't seem to be how it works. The Electro damage that gets spread doesn't actually seem to apply the Electro element, and so against the Abyss Heralds, doesn't end up actually doing anything. Now that isn't to say that it's bad to bring Electro characters, as Electro Resonance does decrease how long you have the Hydro applied to you, So bringing in Razor and Fischl along with 2 cryo characters, say Diona for heals and then Chongyun or Kaya, could be a great way to deal with the second half of this floor, as Razor will get that nice 75% physical damage bonus, and so will make quick work of anything you actually can do damage to. And the cryo characters will give Razor physical resistance shred, and really help with the Abyss Herald shields. And then Fischl can be frequently causing Superconduct or Electro charge in addition to giving Razor more energy, so that he can be in his burst more, which will allow him to apply Electro hits against the Abyss Herald shields. Anyways, that's about it for the video. I hope this is even just a little bit helpful to some people, just in case you didn't know about one of these things, as I just figured them out in the past few days. This is my first time uploading a video to YouTube, so if you have any suggestions on things you think could have been better, feel free to let me know in the comments. And if you have any suggestions for Floor 11 or mechanics you didn't know about, then please do share them down below to help out anyone else who stumbled upon this video. I'll probably upload a video of my physical Kaching freeze build clearing both sides, and maybe a Hu Tao one as well, before giving my thoughts on Floor 12. And with that, I hope to see you all again next time, and wish you all a good day.